that I have some made up information on. The thing is, a lot of times you'll see the remote info panel shown and people will say, fill it out. Well, fill it out with what? So you want to see what that would look like, but I don't want you to be tied into a specific set of phrases. So let's just look at the generic sort of setting. If I'm doing FTP, I would have whatever the FTP host information is. And when you're saving your information to a particular hosting service, they will give you this information. They will help you. If you have a decent hosting service, it'll be available, or you can call them if you can't find it and they will tell it to you over the phone. If you have a hosting service that is not able to get you a human being to help you, find a better one, because there's lots of them out there. The one that I have, I can actually call pretty much any time and they'll walk me through whatever I need. So they would tell me, type this into that box. Now, the host directory, I have a subfolder. So under my main website, you know, www.johnsmith.com or whatever needs to be in that box. Underneath that, I don't have to have the host directory box have a folder in it, because if I'm going to the main level, then I don't need the word testing in here. The reason why that's there is under the main level, there's a folder called testing. So I'm not saving to the first public face, I'm saving one level down so that I can type in www.johnsmith.com/testing to see those files. The main site would still have whatever information was there already, even if it's a page saying under construction. Then you have your login information, whatever that might be, and your password. Now the test button here, when you click it, would pop up a box and it would check, and within hopefully a few seconds you get a box saying Dreamweaver connected successfully. Once you've got that, if you find that you're having connection problems, you come back in here after you know you've connected successfully, but it's being a little slow or it's acting a little funny. Sometimes you will find that you can actually change the FTP system a little bit and try passive FTP, and that sometimes gets over any little hiccups you might have. For now, I'm going to leave that unchecked and just go ahead and click OK. Once I've got that, and I have my particular site that I'm looking at, I've got all of the information ready to go to the server. I'm going to take my main folder here and I'm going to send that to the server. Now I want to see what that looks like, so I'm going to click this button here to open up this panel. If I have never sent this to the server before, when I connect, I would not see files here. But when I connect for this website, you'll notice it's dialing out and I see I've got some information already. So I have already put some information or gotten some information from there. If I'm working with other people, they might put things to the server and then I might get them from the server, edit them, and put them back. If I'm working here, I might edit files, put them on the server, and then go home, get them from the server on that machine, edit them, and put them back. So I don't necessarily have to have the same computer all the time. What I want to do is take this site and I can choose individual files to send up here. Now you'll notice that my files have something unusual about them. You'll see that I have some folders, some files here that have red slashes through them. That's because I want to hide them from the server. The only reason I'm hiding them from the server is they're very large and the server can't use them. They can't be seen on my website, so I don't need to spend the time waiting for them to upload. So if I was to currently synchronize this with my remote site, this particular file right here that's 73 megabytes would try to go to the server. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this file and I'm going to right-click on it and choose Cloaking and Cloak. Cloaking is available to me because it's turned on by default as part of your options in your site. Let me show you where those are. If I go ahead and I'll take my main site here, and actually I'll do it this way. I'll come out of there and go right to Manage Sites. When you're setting up your site originally, Cloaking is turned on in here. So underneath where you put in your information, cloaking is available to you. And that's something that you don't have to use, but is very helpful if you want to have things in your local folder so that everything's in one spot, and then you don't have to put it on the server and take up the time and space if you don't choose to. I'm going to go ahead back to this full screen. I'm still connected to the server, and now I know that these are hidden, so I'm going to select my main file and choose Synchronize. The reason I'm choosing Synchronize my entire local site, and I will choose, in case there's newer files on the remote folder, I will get and put. The reason I'm doing that is I don't want to go to each file in turn and put it in case it's a slightly newer version. So I'm going to have Dreamweaver go and check the remote files against the local files, and then pull up this information and Synchronize to see what might be different. And you'll notice that it wants me to go ahead and put these files, which are newer, but I bring down this file basic, which is newer. Now in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of this choice. And actually, I'm going to ignore you, and I will ignore you instead. So if I wanted to, I could choose to delete these files if I don't want them, and I will delete him instead. And I could choose to ignore this particular file. The reason why is I might have a mixture of files that I know I have a version on there that's newer, but it's not actually the one I want to use right now. I'm not forced to do anything. This box allows me to control it. So I can keep my regular behavior. I can go through and use these icons for ignoring. I can go ahead and choose to delete certain files like this one. And when I click OK, you'll notice that it's going to start processing that. And now it wants to double check. You sure you want to delete that file? Yes. Yes, I do. And now table is gone from over here. I've already deleted it locally, so I want to get rid of it on the remote server, but it does stop you so that you don't accidentally delete something by mistake. Now I've got all of my information synchronized, and what I'm going to do is start checking my public site. But this is the process of uploading, getting and putting files, and synchronizing files with the server. Once I have done this, I can go ahead and disconnect from the server and come back to just showing whatever set, whether it's local or remote, that I want in my main screen. Anytime you want to be able to make a change, and I will change this. Save that file. I can take that one file and simply put it. When I do that, it's going to go ahead and ask me if I want to put dependent files. And I can say yes or no. And it's going to walk through and handle that for me. And as soon as it's connected and put that, it's already set. And you notice I've got my connection icon here that's pushed for me. I could disconnect that if I choose, but I don't have to. So being able to connect to your remote server, whether it be in the same building or in a completely different location, is actually pretty easy once you have the information in Dreamweaver, because then you can just tell it to connect at any time. In the next lesson, we're going to look at some online validation options.